And this ain't financial advice. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about VeChain. Also going to talk a little bit about Cardano smashing 20 million transactions. And we didn't have to even reset the network. I know, crazy. So, folks, I know how a lot of us feel. The price is retraced, and we're all sort of like, what's going to happen? Guess what? Nobody knows. And if they did, they'd be very, very wealthy. Nobody truly knows what is going to happen. Nobody truly has the answer on what the future is. So we kind of want to all sort of hedge our bets and say, so I'm trying to fix my camera. Is it out of focus? In the focus? Did it focus? So we kind of want to hedge our bets so that if we do go into a bear market, what is going to keep us safe? Because I can remember the 2017 rise. Oh, there was Tron, there was Verge, there was, I remember this one crypto, it was called AION, and I'm not talking smack about it, but it had great marketing. It had a great pitch. And I remember almost investing in this. I mean, there was a lot of coins back then that if you look at them now, like they never recovered. And this coin was $10.50. And it hit a low somewhere in the, it did a negative 100x. So what you're saying is like, how do I, look, it was 5 cents there. That's like a negative 99x. And like, I'm not saying they don't still have a solid team behind them. I'm just using this as a case example of a coin that got smashed. Now, one of the coins that I think has a lot of value to it is VeChain. VeChain, largely focused on the supply chain solutions, and obviously with what we've seen in the last year, with all the changes that we've experienced, supply chains get broken, and VeChain is offering various different solutions to supply chains, and we'll get into that in a second. Let's just take a peek at the overall crypto market. Bitcoin 57,104, Ethereum at 4,500, Binance at 627, Solana at 228 after the Grayscale news, and Cardano at $1.55. I would never tell you to buy it, but $1.55. I mean, if I was to call Cardano's bottom, I would probably say it's going to be, at the very worst case scenario, 80 cents. At an ultimate sell-off, maybe I think the buck zone, provided we don't have some sort of like global economic meltdown, then all bets are off. But then again, a lot of people are looking at crypto as a hedge towards the inflation, which is clearly going to happen. And it's obviously not transitory. And I think anyone with a brain in their head never thought that it was. It's transitory. It's temporary. Sure it is. Right. Yeah. So is hair loss. It's transitory. So anyway, back to what I was talking about is that Cardano, I mean, I think it's going to fight resistance at $1 hardcore. You may see on exchanges like a wick down to 80 cents, maybe 75. But I mean, I think it would rebound back really, really fast there and after. I think this year people went so crypto that it's clearly going to receive mainstream adoption. To think it's not, I think, is a little bit naive, or you don't watch much news, or you're not really, your eyes aren't open. You're not paying attention. Your Tesla is on autopilot. And here's the sad reality of a lot of these markets. Like, for instance, like if you go down to EOS, right? A lot of people bought into EOS. Okay. And EOS, where is the EOS? It's so far down. You can't even find the damn thing anymore. EOS, right? Right underneath IOTA. IOTA was a big one too. But what happened is, and this is just my personal opinion, but I'm sure it's true. A lot of people were buying it here. This is actually where it decoupled from the Bitcoin, like all on its own. Like Bitcoin, everything else was crashing at 5/2/2018. I know my crypto history. But then it all crashed down. So all these people who bought this top, they've been holding those bags forever, just praying for a day that they get out and exit and get their money back. So the opportunity cost lost there. And you could probably say maybe, let me see, IOTA. I don't think IOTA ever reclaimed its former fame with the Tenga ledger. So for me, if we are to enter into a bear market, you certainly don't want to be in something like AION or IOTA, because it's like, will they return in 2025 after Bitcoin halves again? That's the way I'm thinking. Obviously not financial advice. So one of those cryptos that stuck out to me and has stuck out to me for a long time is VeChain, because of, I just think supply chain solutions are, look, they partnered with Walmart. They partnered with PricewaterhouseCoopers. This actually thing was a little bit scary over here. We'll get into that in a second. Folks, if you're looking to stake your Cardano, come stake with Nerd2. We are hosting the ISO for the Sunday swap. Big shout out to the Delegator, who just came in like a big daddy, fat daddy alligator with 33,000 into the Nerd2 node. Folks, come stake with Nerd2. 2,100 into the Nerd2. 273 into the Nerd2. You are a legend and a lord. So check it out. Back to VeChain, though, real quick. Stake with Nerd2. So VeChain is going to address these supply chain issues, okay? And this article goes on to talk about how they partnered with Walmart. And it also talks about how, now this is a little terrifying if you actually think about it, that there was a, which country was it that used VeChain to track people's CV Vax record? I'm like, ooh, that's a little sketch, right? Like, imagine a world, and maybe you don't want to, but there's a positive to this, and then there's a potentially inherently harsh negative to it. Imagine a world where all your medical records are kept on the blockchain, and you can never edit them. It's a little scary if you think about it. Imagine a world where all criminal records were kept on the blockchain. That feels like a world with not many second chances. I think people, if they commit crimes, should pay for their crimes. I genuinely do. But I'm also a big believer in rehabilitation. I think the prisons in our country are overpacked and overcrowded. And I think I wish there was a better system to rehabilitate people and re-equip them for society. But I don't think that if somebody does something wrong and they do a injustice to humanity and they're punished for that and they pay for their crimes, that they should be ostracized and penalized for the rest of their life. And I just feel that with some blockchain technology, depending on how it could be used, it could be used to liberate the world. It could be used to enslave the world. And, I'm not connecting that to VeChain, but if you see, they were using it for the CV Vax tracking, and you had to have what do they call it, an ENFT right here, an enterprise non-fungible token technology, in order to prove your test results. So the reason I actually brought up VeChain, though, is I think it has a really, really interesting use case. And if you actually look at VeChain on the chart in the last year, yes, it peaked with all the other cryptos in last April, okay, at around 25 cents, and it's retraced down to 5 cents. Whew, that's a correction. So, a lot of people who are in the Cardano boat who are going, oh, it's not fair. Well, look, there's people who bought VeChain, okay? They bought it at 25, okay? And if they're holding it today, they have 11 cents. So, this isn't the you show. This is everybody in crypto experiences these ebbs and these flows, these hugs and these punches to the face. So subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. It helps us overcome the algorithm and the bots that are trying to hold us down and FUD Cardano. But anyway, VeChain, I don't know why. It's just an instinct. I feel that with the value proposition that is offered by VeChain, if you do your own due diligence on this, you might say to yourself, wow, maybe this is one of those cryptos that will stand the test of time, that will still be around in 2025 after the next Bitcoin halving. Now, there's a lot of fly-by-night projects here that, like, they get these big VC funds, they get pumped up really fast, and they're not going to be here in 5 years. They're not. Okay. I bet you Ethereum will be here. I bet you Bitcoin definitely will be here. I would bet Cardano will be here because just of how strong the community was in 2018. XRP definitely going to be here. XRP at 98 cents, to be real, maybe a steal. It's so hard to buy this stuff when I was getting it at 18 cents, 17 cents, 19 cents. But that being said, if you look at XRP's old all-time high, and I know what y'all are going to say, centralized garbage banker coin. Yeah, it is, but they actually do have somewhat of a utility. This thing peaked at, I don't know, back in 2017, $3.35 now. But what happens is that when these people buy the top at this inflated price, well, they end up holding the bag. And yeah, it went down to 17 cents one there, and that's where little Scotty was getting in. Okay. But it never comes back to this price right here of, 0.007 cents. Okay. Because it creates a new base and a new base. And over time, just like the S&P 500, more money comes in and more money sits and waits and waits and waits. Now, some will jump in and jump out, and some will make money doing that, and some will lose money doing that. Statistically, most people will lose money doing that. But it'll create a new base, and it'll climb higher and higher and higher. And if you think that the crypto market is going to grow in the future, which I think anyone with a brain who's been paying attention to just the problems that the world is facing regarding inflation, and has a fundamental understanding of cryptocurrencies, can see how this would not be going away. And they can also, if they've done a little bit more of a deep dive on a place like Wallace Inc., they might see, hey, this could actually solve a lot of the problems and maybe enhance our lives in the future. And for the people who aren't paying attention, too bad. So anyway, once again, Cardano smashes all-time high transactions. Didn't have to reset or anything. What else do I have on here? FTX token. Wasn't that formerly? This will probably still be around. Similar to these exchange tokens. One of my big plays early on during this whole down market was KuCoin. It was just so obvious to me because I was saying to myself and people. Look, there were plenty of people who said, that's not true. That's not true. That's not going to happen. It's not like BNB coin, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, but just on sheer transaction volume in and out of the exchange, people are going to use that token in order to offset their trading fees. That's just how it works, okay? It's $26. I was buying it for 88 cents. Duh. Okay? Yeah, I don't think they have smart contracts, and I personally love KuCoin. If you all check out KuCoin, I have a link for KuCoin in the link below. Great place to pick up some alts when you can't get them on places like Coinbase and stuff like that. But KuCoin is a super solid exchange. Now this is, can you guess what? Can you guess the coin? That could be a new game we play on here. Can you guess the coin by the chart above? This is called Getting Dumped On, Internet Computer Protocol Token. Now, this one is I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. It's very Solana-ish. I believe it's backed by a lot of the same people, if I'm not mistaken. Internet Computer, formerly known as Dfinity, okay? This thing, I don't know. It randomly was like in the top 5 or 10, like all of a sudden, out of nowhere. Talk about a pump and dump, a little P&D, if you will. So, Internet Computer Protocol, this thing wicked up to $888. $888. And it went down as low as $28. I don't know. You know what? Some of these things, look, price on some level, not on all levels, okay? I think if you're in the top 100 or 50, you should be good, okay? You still have a fighting chance. But like I'm telling you that price does dictate. It will drive some innovation. It's just that is a reality of this. If Cardano goes to the 290th spot on the crypto charts, we might be in hot water. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Okay, it doesn't mean it wasn't a valid project. Doesn't mean it isn't a great project still. It's just that developers are going to go to the thing that's popular. Why? Because they want what they build to be used. Period. Simple as that. Okay? That's why developers are going to go to Solana. That's why people are trying to build on Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. They're like, we'll build on anything. We'll build on the dog currencies. Folks, also, if you're doing a little holiday shopping, check out the BlockFi credit card. You can get up to $250 free Bitcoin for using the link below and funding an account. Use this card. Awesome conversation starter, especially around the holidays. Look, you got a BlockFi card with a Visa on it. Come on. Visa's getting in the game. Why aren't you? Anyway, folks, tell me what you think about some of the picks. Tell me what you think about VeChain. Do you think that will survive till 2025 after the next Bitcoin halving? Tell me what coins maybe I mentioned here that you think absolutely not, that is garbage, and that will not survive. Love to know. Love to hear your comments in the section below. It definitely helps us fight past the YouTube algorithm, and if I don't see you, I'll see you on the internet. I'm out.
Steak with Nord.